So I'm very tech illiterate. And so after she did her call, I didn't get it uploaded. I know it's on my computer somewhere. I have to figure out how to upload it to YouTube, to our team YouTube. But people had a lot of questions, and I saw them popping up today, and I was like, dang, I really have to get that uploaded. Well, Lisa went ahead and went live and like retaught everything to help people that were struggling. So that's like a huge, speaks volumes for her leadership, and also for wanting to help like build us up. So she did that literally for everyone else. She already knows it. She didn't need to do it once, let alone twice. So I think that's really awesome. And I'll open it up for anybody else who wants to do shout outs.
I wanted to shout out Megan Leave. I think she was supposed to come on tonight, but I'm not sure I see her yet. But she had texted me earlier, and she was really worried about sharing a very vulnerable post, and kind of encouraged her to do it. And we went through her post, and I didn't know if she was going to post it, but she did. And it's on Instagram. So if you follow her, go show that post some love and support, because I know she was really kind of worried about if it was going to help, people, and kind of putting herself out there. She was worried about it. So I just wanted to give her a shout out.
I just want to say it's really awesome to see Mindy and Kelly. Oh, Colleen. I didn't see her. Sorry. I have like a million people on my screen. Is anybody else here from Free and Fierce? Thanks y'all for coming. I bet Tara's like pumped. Any other shout outs? Because we're just so awesome. Everybody's so awesome. It's hard to pick one. All right, I'm going to open up the floor for Tara. If anybody, I haven't been.
We have a couple of shout outs. Lindsay, some people are typing.
Okay, go ahead, Tara.
Read the shout outs or start the training?
Yeah. Oh, I see them now. Okay. So Lindsay shouted out Kate and Michelle and Carrie for setting up their free challenge group for the first time. Actually, wanted to also say Lindsay, Megan, Lisa, and Sarah, Sarah's at the airport right now. They all also have a clean eating group starting tomorrow. So for the new coaches who are like facing that fear and starting their first group, whether it's a free group or a challenge group on their own, that we all know how scary that is and intimidating. So major props to all of them. And then Lindsay Kennedy. Okay, she wants to shout out her success partner. Who is it, Lindsay? Oh, okay, Lindsay and Lindsay. You guys are both awesome. It must be the name.
I want to shout out really quick. Kara Odom and I got the idea to start a FIA group. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's off of F3, which is for men. It's a faith-based group, and you get together and you do workouts and a devotion together and just kind of take that time for yourself. But FIA is only women, and there is the only one close to us is probably 30 minutes either way. And so we decided we'd like to try that. And we had our first launch on Saturday, and like 6 of our team members were the core of our group. And it was amazing because we had those ladies there. And the ones that were there that aren't part of our team, immediately, like I have messages from them, like they immediately felt the connection and are drawn in, and they're so excited for next week. And I can't imagine, like that it wouldn't have been the same without them. So Lindsay came, Faith came, Laura came, Meredith came. Trying to remember any other coaches, but it was just to just know you have that. I mean, it is your tribe, and I'm just so thankful.
That's awesome. Maybe you can do a call on that sometime, Melissa. I think that's a really good idea to think about, like, some of us struggle with social media, making connections, just like with messaging and texting. And I feel like sometimes those connections and relationships get stronger quicker, like you said, in one experience together. And so it might get people thinking about how they could use their coaching to impact their local community and start smaller. I know Tara and someone else has done like fit clubs or something with their church for other women. So I think that's, for the newer coaches that haven't been here, when we've done that, that might be something to help them get creative and start thinking. Anybody else? Check the chat. All right, Tara, I think it's all yours.
All righty, it's go time. Okay, so my training tonight is about leadership, and I changed it last minute because at first I had like how to make your pictures attractive, and I basically chose that one because it was something that I know how to do and it was easy. And then I was like, you know what? I really need to pick a training on something that I need to work on myself. And so, which is how to be an effective leader. And so I kind of catered this training not just for being a Beachbody coach, but just being a leader in general, because I feel like there are so many different aspects in our lives where being a leader is so important. And that's one thing, you know, going through my bachelor's and my master's, like I never really got training on how to be a leader. And I think in some shape, way, or form, we're all going to have to be leaders in some way. And it's important to be an effective leader and know how to. So for work, I've been doing a lot of different leadership training. And so I just kind of wanted to share what I've learned through this training. And historically, leadership is kind of known as there's someone on top, right? And then there's people under them. And kind of growing up, we all think like, when we think of a boss, you know, we think of like, this is the person that we go to. This is the person that kind of dictates what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, when things are due, you know, if this doesn't happen, you know, these are the expectations, A, B, and C, and if they're not met, this is what's going to happen. I mean, that's just kind of historically how we think of a leader. And just someone who's kind of dictating to us things that we have to do. And so I thought we would just take a few moments, and I think probably typing it in the chat box might be the easiest. I want you all to just write one word or one phrase of what you would want to see in a leader. And I'll just start reading relatable, inspiration, examples, honesty, facilitator, realness, that's a good one. A teacher who will break it down step by step, that's a good one. Genuine. Someone who can serve while leading. Compassionate, passionate. Yeah, these are great. Good listener. Yeah. Anything else? These are all great. And one thing that's in common, and when I did this training for work, I think we got one more. Good salsa dancer. Constructive criticism, consistent. Yes, these are great. One common thing that I'm seeing with all of these words and phrases is that it's kind of all about being collaborative and doing things as a team. And yes, that's exactly, these are all the traits that we want in leaders. We don't want someone that's just dictating us and telling us what we need to do. We want someone that's going to be understanding, someone that's going to be compassionate, someone that is willing to kind of hear our needs and hear our ideas and take them into consideration. So these are great. You know, and again, historically, we're just kind of taught about this pyramid model, and we got to kind of move from, you know, being someone that's controlling to someone that's willing to adapt and be flexible with changes, and kind of move from that like commanding and controlling to more of the collaboration. And I just wanted to share this little personal story about myself. As many of you know, I'm a behavior analyst and I work with children with autism. And for about 10 years, I was kind of in the role of the direct service working with the kids. And I've always had, like, for the most part, pretty great leadership, leaders that were above me. And when I moved to Virginia, I was given a role to be a leader. And, you know, this was a huge step for me. I was now going to have a whole team under me. And I really, I really was kind of thinking like, okay, I'm coming into this school. I was supervising an ABA program, Applied Behavior Analysis, and I had 3 special ed teachers under me, and I had about 15 staff. And I really had this 10 years, she started working at 13. I really thought, okay, I'm the specialist here, and I got this role, and now everyone is just going to listen to what Tara says. And they're just going to follow what I say. They're going to come to work on time. They are going to follow everything that I ask. Like, I'm the one in charge. This is my license. And I just totally came into this situation with the wrong idea. And I was shown very soon that that was not an effective leadership. And I don't know, it just kind of, I guess, got to my head a little bit, and I really needed to kind of buckle down, and I really needed to do some self-reflection on how I was as a leader and what I can do to kind of help be more collaborative. And so one of the things that I started to do was I created a little survey, and I'm going to put the survey link in the comments in a minute. But basically, it was just like a little simple survey, and I created one on SurveyMonkey, and you all are welcome to use it. But it's just like a little tool to find out about your staff or the people, your other coaches or other people that you're leading, just so that you can get to know them more on a personal level. And so simple things like finding out their favorite snack, or finding out something that they really enjoy to do on the weekends, those little bits of information can be super helpful when you're trying to acknowledge someone. You know, if this special candy is their favorite, like sending something something to them like on their birthday, or sending it to them when they've reached some milestone. Just knowing those little things about the people that you're supervising can make a huge, huge difference. So I'm going to find the link. And I think it would be a good idea to use this to send to your coaches so that you know a little bit more about them. Let me see. I'm copying this right now. Bear with me. You all know that I was up all night yesterday salsa dancing. So I think I danced till 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, so if I flub up on my words or whatever, give me some grace, okay? So here's the little survey. I think it's super short. You don't have to do it in a SurveyMonkey survey, but people like technology and doing things online, and it literally takes 20 seconds. So it's just trying to find out. You're welcome to click on the link. It's just a little information just to find some things about them so that you can find ways to acknowledge them. In the new coach form, I have them do the GEM test. Yes, I love that, Lindsay. That's a great idea. Yep. Summer does a GEM test to find out. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the notes. So that was one thing that I started doing for my staff. Another thing I started to do was really getting to know them as a person. Again, I feel like we've always had this mindset about leaders, when you're in a leadership role, and I really struggled this when I was in the school, I had everyone that was under me, and I'm coming in there to do a job, this is what they need to do and follow my expectations. And I've always been taught, don't share too much about your personal life, but really, of course we always have to be careful. Sometimes, depending on the leadership role that we're in, sometimes we have to be careful about how much personal information we share. But for the most part, allowing people into your life a little bit and sharing a little bit about yourself and wanting to know about them. Something simple as how was your weekend? Or, tell me how things are going. Just something simple like that, and getting to know people that are under you can really start building that rapport with them. And so, yes, you're still their supervisor or you're still a leader, but you're still generally caring about that person. So I started doing that weekly. I would just start calling in staff and just spending that time to kind of get to know them. And in the school, I had the survey written out on paper. And then in the beginning of the year, I would have them fill it out. And then each year we would do it again. Have them fill them out, and then I would keep it in their file. And then, when it was their birthday or they did something really awesome, then I would have that little list of things that I know that they like and enjoy. Another thing, if you click on the survey, you will notice that I asked a few questions about how they like to be recognized. And I think that's really important because some people may really like to be recognized on a call like this. There's a lot of people on this call. We're all hearing it. But some people, that may be really aversive to them, that could really make them shut down. So you'll see on the survey that I did ask a few questions about how they like to be recognized. Maybe they just would like a little card sent in the mail, or maybe they like receiving small gifts, or maybe just a simple voice text is something, or a high five or a great job. We all like to be recognized in different ways. It kind of reminds me of the 5 love languages a little bit. If you've read that book, just talks about how we like to feel loved and what makes us feel special. So that's always important to kind of keep in mind about how, people like to be recognized, and making sure that maybe something that we like, maybe a social media post and tagging them, maybe that's something that makes us feel really excited and recognized, but maybe for someone else that doesn't feel good to them. So I think just kind of finding that information out is important. Let's see what else I have on here. So I made a list here of, and we're running a little low on time, and I want to respect everyone's time. So I wrote down 8 different qualities that I feel makes a great, effective leader. And so the first one is communication. That's huge. We want to make sure that we're clearly relating information to people, relating the expectations to your team and to everyone that you're working with, right? So that we all know that we're kind of working on the same goals. And so if no one knows the expectation, if no one knows what we're shooting for, then then communication's not going to be clear. So number 1, communication. Number 2, confidence. This is huge. Staying calm and confident will help your team feel the same. So even though you may feel frazzled, or maybe you feel like you don't know what you're doing. I felt a little frazzled before I started this meeting. That's why I told Lindsay I wanted that song because, I don't know, it's just an empowering song. So I was like, okay, Tara, stay calm and confident, even though you feel like you don't know what you're doing or what you're saying is going to reach people. I always tell my staff too, when they go into families, you have to, even though you don't know everything or feel like you don't know everything, you have to go in with confidence, right? We all heard the saying, fake it till you make it. So confidence is huge. Number 3, not 3, positivity, keeping yourself and team upbeat keeps up the morale, right? I don't know if you've all ever been in a situation at work where you have those Debbie Downers that are just all that negative talk, and it really feeds in. And I sometimes have to catch myself, if I'm complaining, it just like feeds. And so always keeping that positivity. And I know we always talk about that in the team, of being upbeat and positive and focusing on the good things that are going on. Okay, number 4, effective leader, fairness. Remain objective and unbiased when dealing with others. This is definitely, something that I've had to work on. Like, we're all going to have people that we really like, and maybe some people that are not going to be our best friend, but we always have to make sure when we're in those leadership roles that we're being fair, that we're not putting personal issues in the mix of things. So, if you're in a leadership role where maybe you have to write someone up, it's not something that we always like to do, but sometimes in leadership roles, that may be something we'll have to do at some point. So just being fair. Number 5 is a big one, honesty. Being honest and transparent is vital for developing trust. This is huge. I know I have dealt some of this with, when I'm supervising, is sometimes I feel I always felt like I got the best result when I was dealing with an issue if I was open and honest with the staff. So keeping the communication open, being honest with maybe problems that may be arising, and just being open with people is really important. Number 6, effective leader. Next trait I have is commitment. Do what you say, and stick to your word, and that will build trust. Again, that's really important. We have to let people know that we're committed and that they can trust us, just like in our business, right? We don't want to fall off and just stop posting on social media or stop showing up, because if we do, then we're not building trust with our customers. And so showing up and doing our workouts and showing that commitment is building trust, whether we see it or not. So, so important. And that's not to say that we're not going to fall off. I mean, I fell off this weekend. I just, being tired is not a good thing. So we're all going to have those moments. So I'm not saying that you have to be perfect, but I think just showing that vulnerability and being honest about that is so important. Number 7, inspiring. Help your team feel like a vital part of the company or the team. I mean, so think about ways that you can do that. Talk to your coaches. By getting to know them, you're going to know what their strengths are. If you have someone that's awesome at graphics, use them to help you build those graphics. If you have someone that's really good at talking live on camera, tell them, hey, I want you to do a training because you are awesome on the camera. Just kind of giving them those opportunities and using those strengths, because that's going to build their confidence, and that's just going to help the team in general. So think about the coaches that you have. Think about, maybe not even in Beachbody, but think about in your other job, like think about the people that you work with and their strengths, and maybe how you can use them to empower the whole team or the whole company. Humility. Being humble and serving your team, they will want to follow you back. I mean, this is so important. I mean, being open, being vulnerable, like when you fall off, own it, because we're all going to fall off at some time. I mean, we're all not perfect. We're going to have messes in the background. We're going to have things that happen. And so I think just being humble and being open is really a great quality of an effective leader. So that's 8. I'll read them off again. Communication, confidence, positivity, fairness, honesty, commitment, inspiring, and humility. And we are at 9:02. So before we get off, I've been reading a great book. It's called Encouraging the Heart. This is actually the workbook. This is how crazy I am today. I was like ransacking my entire house. Like, where is this book? I'm like, I've been reading this book. Where is it? I'm throwing everything. I'm like, I have the meeting in 30 minutes. Ooh, I just burped. Excuse me. And then I realized that I'm listening to it on a podcast. So that's why I don't have the book. So anyway, this is the workbook. It's called Encouraging the Heart. I'm going to tell you, it is a little bit corny, a little bit, but it has some really great information in it and really great ideas and kind of things to put in perspective. So before we get off tonight, I want you to, and you don't have to send it to me. This can be more of a self-reflection and something that you do, but I want you to think about the people that you're working with, whether it's with your full-time job or Beachbody or both, and think about what you can do to recognize someone this week. Think about that and just think of ways that you can recognize them, whether it's sending them a card or giving them a shout out. And that's all I have for you all.
That was
That
awesome.
was helpful.
It was. I was actually sitting here like, I think leadership is really intimidating for me. I actually end up being a leader, but I've never, like you said, when you realize that you really needed to buckle down and learn about it, that's kind of where I'm at. And so like when you talk about honesty, but then you talk about confidence, so like how do you handle those two things? Because sometimes we are really scared. Sometimes we're, like frazzled and we're scared out of our minds and we're not sure how to handle something. So how do you be honest about that, but still exude confidence for your people?
Yeah. It's so hard. I mean, I think in different situations, you have to take it for that. But the first thing that came to mind was when I was kind of first in the field and being in a supervisor role, like, and there's still things that come up. You know, sometimes I go into families' homes and they're dealing with an issue and I honestly don't know what to do, or like I've tried everything and it just hasn't worked. And, you know, I think you can still be confident and, you know, and I'm giving this example because this is the example that I've experienced is, you know, I've told the family, listen, I'm going to get back to you on that. I have to look through some of my resources, or, you know, I need to speak to a colleague about this so that we can collaborate. And so I think that's still showing confidence, but, you know, you're not just making something up in the moment, because we want to be honest with people. And if there's something that I really don't know how to handle, I'm not going to lie about it. You know, just like if a customer asks us, you know, and we're new in the field, I remember getting tons of questions about, is Shakeology safe for pregnancy? And as a new coach, you know, at first, you know, you're thinking, oh, I just want to tell them yes, but, you know, we have to be honest with people and we have to tell them, you know, and I didn't know. So I would talk to other moms and I would say, let me get back to you on that. You know, I don't have that answer, but I'm going to find out for you. And so I think that still shows that you're being confident, because you're giving them an answer, but you're not, you're not just making something up just to say something. And I think those experiences too, they help you grow. And the more situations that you come to, you know, it builds your confidence, because I mean, we're not going to know everything. There's still situations that come up that we don't know, and that's okay. Lindsay said, I just put on my Audible list to listen to on the way to work. Oh, okay, good, Lindsay. Are the 10 characteristics in the book you mentioned? No, these are not. This, the 10 characteristics was a training that I did at work. Jackie said, I do that at work with parents. I'm not sure what that was. I think, was that, Jackie, towards what I was saying about if I don't know the answer to something? Yes. Yeah. Because I'm sure, you know, Jackie's a teacher. I'm sure there's situations that come up and, you know, people are understanding if you don't have the answer right away. Exactly, Lindsay. Like, yeah, you tell, I don't know the answer, but we will find it together. Exactly. And I think it's intimidating, you know, more in the beginning of your field. I remember like parent training would intimidate the heck out of me, because, or when I would do presentations, when I would present on ABA, I'm like, oh my gosh, someone in this audience is going to ask me a question and I'm not going to know. And like my pits would be seriously sweating because I'm like, oh my God, no one asked me a question that I don't know. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? You rock. That is all. Thanks, Min. I'm sweating now. Whew, I need to take this shirt off.
It's because you were on fire.
Yeah.
That was really, really awesome. I wish I didn't have pen and paper with me because I'm surrounded by laundry and I forgot to bring it in. But if there's any way that you could maybe just like type up the list.
Yeah, I'll do that.
In the team page. And then if you could teach us all how to make the moving graphic.
That's just on Snapseed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I had like a more, oh, I did this or put in this code, but I have to be honest.
That's right.
It's under, so if you go into Snapseed, first of all, if you don't have Snapseed, download it now.
Mm-hmm.
And then go into tools. And then what did I do? I think I was drinking wine too when I created that. And that always happen, like your most creative times is.
This is on your phone? I don't have anything that says tools. I have tutorials, help, and settings.
Yeah, well, of course I have a funny picture on mine, but see the tools at the bottom?
Oh, once you have a picture up, yeah.
Yes. Tools, where did I do that? Oh my gosh, Tara.
You probably typed in a code while you were drinking.
Maybe I didn't even do it I'm going to find that answer for you all, and I will.
I'm confident you can.
Maybe I did it in Pic Collage. Oh, this is going to bother me now. Okay, so I did it in Pic Collage. I lied. That was not Snapseed. So do you all have that app? It's called Pic Collage. And then, oh, okay. And then at the bottom where it gives you all of, text, web search, all the way at the end, there's something that's called animation. Can you see that? See where it has the little play button?
Yeah.
That's where it's at, animation on Pic Collage.
Awesome. Something to play around with in all my free time.
Right.
Thank you.
Because you have so much free time.
Does anybody else have any other questions? I think it'll be really helpful if you post. Oh, is there more in the chat?
Yes, Jackie says your picture says Pic Collage at the bottom. Thanks, Jackie. That probably would have helped.
Maybe under the if you do a post or maybe even in like the team training stuff, if you do the picture or something to like in the album and then do the 10 qualities, and then maybe if anybody has any other questions that they think of afterward, because there was a lot of good information, then they can comment under it or message you. But it's helpful if somebody has a question, it's really likely that more than one person does, so it's helpful to get that going in the page.
Yeah, and if you guys, oh, Carson, so cute. Hey, Carson. Oh, that little pumpkin. Yeah, and if you guys wouldn't mind filling.
Hi, Jackie.
Sorry.
Hi, Carson.
If you guys wouldn't mind filling out that quick Survey Monkey, that would be awesome.
Say hi, McAllister.
Hi, Miss Callister.
And I was thinking, I mean, I've been a coach for 2.5 years, but I don't think that it's a bad idea to send this to coaches that have been with you for that whole time, because I was like, man, I should have done this 2 years ago. But I think that it's something like it's a really good tool to implement at any point, because that information can always help you grow closer and help them succeed better.
Right. One thing I did add on there too, if you click on it, the last question says, tell me one thing about yourself that I don't know. And I think that's always cool, because that can start conversations and connections. And of course, a lot of the time we know our coaches, but sometimes, we don't know very personal information. Or like actually what happened with Megan is that I didn't really know Megan all that well. Like we weren't friends before, but her coach left. So then what happened was I got her. And so I was in a situation, you know, where she was in my downline, but I didn't know her before. Or sometimes we have customer leads that turn into coaches, and customer leads we don't know. I think has that happened to Christy maybe? Was that with Skylar?
It's
Kelly?
Lindsay Kennedy.
What's that?
It's Lindsay Kennedy. She was a lead for Lindsay.
Okay. And Kelly's waving over there. So that happened to her too. Oh, is she trying to say something or no? Or is that just a yawn, Kelly? Okay. Yes. So yeah, so that happened to Kelly too, where, you know, she got a lead and didn't know her. So anyway, it's just nice to get some more information and know our coaches on a more personal level.
It's awesome. I'm going to definitely be using it. So if you're one of my coaches on this call, prepare your answers. Okay, any other questions, guys? Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Lindsay, I hope you feel better.
Sarah.
Hi, Carson. How are you feeling? Are you taking care of mommy?
I know.
What did you tell mommy earlier about being sick? What am
I
I going
don't like you being sick.
Yeah.
You give mommy extra snuggles tonight, okay? Just like from a distance. Okay. Kelly, Mindy, and Colleen, thank you guys too for coming. It was really, really awesome to see your faces. We miss y'all. All right, we'll wrap it up, and I'm going to make it my mission to get this uploaded, and along with Lisa's call. So y'all have a great night and a wonderful week. Love you guys.